Scott, we're back once again. Dude, it is our second stream of the day. If you missed ITG Daily, first of all, why? What are you doing? Come on. No, seriously. Go check us out over on YouTube, InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, TV streaming networks around the globe, Roku, Amazon Prime, all those awesome networks out there. So take a look at that. Fired Up Network, shout out to them.
Everyone.
But now we're live once again. This is
Gaming Showcase.
the MetaQuest
I'm thrilled to be back
Game
hosting,
Showcase.
and it's a big
Hopes?
day. This
Scott,
morning,
do you have any
Mark
hopes?
Zuckerberg shared
Dreams?
that our
I want to
MetaQuest 3,
see,
our next
just
gen
mentioned
VR
right before
headset,
going on live
is
there,
launching later
we
this
have
year.
some information hopefully coming out
MetaQuest 3
about
is our
the
follow-up to
MetaQuest
MetaQuest 2,
3.
and will
Yep,
feature
there it is.
advanced
They just
tech
revealed
that
it.
opens up new
Kind of showcased a
possibilities
little bit.
in both VR and
That would be
Man,
great.
I hope the headset's way better
It
than
will
the
also be
MetaQuest 2
backwards
because I hated that
compatible with
headset.
Quest 2's
The what? I
entire
always felt like it was gonna
library of
fall
over
off.
500 games and apps.
Okay, well I have.
Later in the show,
Where does this
explore
one fit
Oculus
in there?
Studios'
Because I have
biggest and
the
most
Rift.
immersive game ever
The
with a
Rift
gameplay
S,
deep
this
dive.
one right here.
You were
A
outdated
game
and
that will
long
take
gone.
advantage
You're
of
obsolete.
I am,
Quest 3's
yeah.
They don't
I
make
had
you
bought
anymore.
this in. I bought this
way
in
more to share with
2019.
MetaQuest 3 releases,
My first intro
including
to
specs,
VR.
more apps and experiences,
And I love it. I really
and a
do love
full
it. But
slate of groundbreaking
as
MR content.
I cheekily point to,
These are
I was in
all
a crash in
stepping stones toward
2020,
our long-term vision
and
for
because of
building the metaverse.
some changes with my
But
real
for
estate
today's
and my
showcase,
eyeballs, I have not
it's
gone
all
back
about
into
VR
this.
games.
So I'm
That's
not
fair.
expecting to
Every
see.
title
I'm
you
not
see
expecting to see
today
anything
will
about
be playable on both
accessibility,
MetaQuest 2
disability,
and
any sort
3,
of information on
and
that.
is currently set to
Specifically,
launch in the next
it's more
12
so
months.
how
So let's get
courageous am
started.
I going to get to challenge medical community? If my doctor is watching, I'm not gonna do it. No.
Are you ready?
Unless we get another half of Alex. I want to make sure I have the same feed here. It's got to be a meta channel. Is that correct?
Yep. It's a party game we're starting with already. No, man. Dude. Like, really? Not a strong start.
I can't find the actual channel.
It's Meta's
Can't
channel.
find the. I'm on the Meta YouTube channel.
Really? It's Sega. Anybody said Sega?
Samba de Amigo in VR. I could not be more excited. Because
Sombadea.
music is such an important part of my life. I was a professional musician for years, and at Meta, I've gotten to work with the talented teams behind a bunch of other rhythm games.
Yeah, I don't get it. The
Playing
last thing I
Samba
have
de
is 10
Amigo in
days old.
VR feels
Right,
like
yeah.
it's always belonged here.
How is there more than one
And
meta
I
channel?
can't wait to see everyone shaking their maracas when Sega brings the game to the MetaQuest store this fall. Back in February, Shell Games revealed I Expect You to Die
MetaQuest.
Clogged in the Machine.
There it is.
Today,
Okay, I went to just the Meta channel. not the Quest channel.
where Spyjinx is coming to the MetaQuest store this year. Hopefully your skills haven't gotten too rusty, because this threequel will send agents on their most challenging mission yet.
Okay.
Confront more villainous villains, tackle more perilous perils, and expect to die a few more times.
Oh, you are either very strong or that steering wheel was
I
not
love Shell
attached
games.
correctly. Dr. Roxana Prism is a former employee
I expect
of the
you to
agency.
die.
She truly believes she can create a better agent.
Oh, hey, Admiral Butler.
You'll either prove her wrong, or prove her right. You're dead in that second scenario.
Once you're dead, everyone will see just how superior my robots are to human agents.
Hey,
Oh,
if you
is
got
that
some
where they're
wiggle,
going?
do it again and you'll have 10
Expect You to Die
cents.
3.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware which one
Every time we encounter
you had played
Agent
last.
Phoenix,
I
we
remember a
get
bomb
stronger.
defusal situation. Was that 2?
Yeah. I played
It's
1
simply a
and
matter
2.
of time
Corey and I
and
reviewed
iteration.
2. And now we're getting a 3rd. It's awesome.
That's cool. I really like the kind of cheeky
Are
attitude
you
towards the
using Dr.
games.
C's notes I left
Yeah.
in there? Aren't they great?
Those are
Sometimes I
great
look
sense
at
of
them
humor,
because
too.
they make me happy.
Reminds me of Escape Academy. Excellent game. Would only do better.
You
if
don't have to play the series in order, but if you'd like to, you'll find the first 2 games bundled in the MetaQuest store for 40% off for a limited time.
Yep, get caught up.
That's not all Shell Games is working on.
Ooh.
They made a promise at last year's showcase.
Stealth,
3 games
horror,
over the
VR?
next 2 years.
Could this be?
Hot off the press, let me introduce you to Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire.
Oh, man.
Silent Slayer is a single-player horror game
VR
that'll
horror
bring you
experiences,
face to
yes,
face
please.
with
So you're
slumbering
ahead of me now
vampires.
somehow. Oh, hang on, I can catch up.
The center of the chest.
There we go.
And do not be gentle.
Aim for the center of the chest.
Don't be gentle. Oh, Silent Slayer, okay.
Silent Slayer, Vault of the Vampire. That sounds like a Disney movie title.
Yeah.
At last year's showcase, we revealed Ghostbusters, Rise of the Ghost
Yeah, I'm
Lord.
looking forward to this.
And then I got to drive off into the sunset in the iconic Ecto-1. For this year's show, Sony Pictures VR and nDreams put together a little dossier on the Ghost Lord himself. Who is he, and how did he get to be so mean? Along the way, we'll get a glimpse of the West Coast's first Ghostbusters HQ, some iconic San Francisco landmarks, and the spirits and specters that you'll be trapping there with your friends.
Insider
Let's take a
baseball.
look.
Do you think that stage is real?
No. I don't.
I don't think so either.
Nah.
It's fun though when you can recognize
you know
that.
the whole story of the Ghostbusters. Well, you don't know my story. 1984. My research brought me to Columbia University, where I studied under the Ghostbusters. They dismissed my work, called it dangerous. But in San Francisco, I can show them, with its untapped cauldron of the undead. Where others saw fear, I saw subjects. How could I know my research would stir a dormant evil? The Ghost Lord. Alcatraz. Tortured souls, whose guilt I could drain and drain again. Their pain, the price of progress. My dear assistant Katie understands. Soon everyone will understand. Especially you, Ghostbusters, with your silly parlor tricks. You will see the progress I have made.
Dude, this
Know
looks
the
cool.
power I have harnessed. You will realize that I, Gustav Hookfather, am the genius who gave the world endless clean energy. The Ghost Lord is coming. What have I brought upon the world? The time of the Ghost Lord is here.
Rise of the Ghost. This fall.
Made the mistake of looking at the comments.
Check this out.
Oh, really?
The team let me
Mixed
into the San
reaction, to say
Francisco
the least.
Ghostbusters
Ah,
HQ a
I think it
little
looks cool.
early, and it's still
I think
under
that looks really
construction. But I've got my proton pack, my PKE meter, and I know exactly who I'm teaming up with to take out the Ghost Lord. Because if there's one thing you can say about me,
Hey, was there an option
it's
to
that
watch
I
this
ain't
in
afraid of
VR?
no ghost.
Because shouldn't there be?
What's that?
Whew.
Shouldn't there be an
Anyway,
option to watch this in
When we
VR?
asked one
I'm not sure if
Hansa,
there is,
developers
but
of Rocket
maybe in their
MX,
VR
shouldn't
chat.
everything
players will
shouldn't
love
everything
about your new
meta?
game.
Yes,
They said,
absolutely should.
You can lose an arm.
We
How
should
else
be
do
in
you push
their
your
back up.
product, right?
HQ.
Unless you
Bash
don't
your
actually
enemies
use
with
it.
We should
There
be
we
in
go.
their HQ right now. Well,
Underdog
I
is
guess
a
yeah,
physics-based
they'd be speaking to a
brawler
very
where you
captured
wrap
audience at that
yourself
point.
in your
But
5-ton gorilla mech and rampage through New Bracca. the 22nd century mech fighting capital of the world.
Yeah, that's how I've been playing
Take
Zelda.
on whatever the pitmasters throw your way and upgrade your mech to be even more fearsome. But remember, the more you climb the ranks, the more every lowlife in the city will be gunning for you. So get ready to claw your way up the food chain.
Is she really talking about Rampage? Dude, you remember that game? So
Oh, I very, very vaguely remember Rampage.
Oh man.
I think I was under 10 years old.
It was the dinosaur gorilla. I can't remember what the last one was. Or was
Big
it
wolf
rat?
thing.
Yeah, yeah. And you just sit there and smash buildings and eat people. It's hilarious. I loved it.
They did a movie of that, but I don't think it
Oh,
was
it's horrible.
No.
So here's the thing. This is where we're at right now when it comes to graphics, right, with the MetaQuest. Is that you have to get that stylized look for it to actually look good, I feel. It's kind of starting to see his age show a little bit when it comes to the graphic fidelity. So if they go something with this comic book like style, then they're able to kind of hone in on that. I think it makes it look really nice and appealing without making it look blurry and muted.
That does make a lot of sense, yeah, because how are you going to cram a 4K texture in there?
You're not.
Rick! You're in the wreck! Get up, man! The bubble's critical! Your arm's broken clean off! Ricardo! They're coming in for the kill! Get up and fight!
Oh. Visions of Titanfall just flew in my head. What could be.
You don't want to do that.
You get up and fight. Titanfall inbound.
Underdogs.
At last year's show, we revealed
Reminds me of
NFL
Chrome
Pro
Hounds
Era,
just because of the dog name and Max.
an NFLPA licensed VR football sim. Since the games launched last October, you've completed over 3 million NFL seasons and
Wow.
unlocked over
Holy.
9 million trophies. But what's next? Here to tell you is Status Pro president and co-founder and former NFL wide receiver, Andrew Hawkins.
Thanks, Ruth. Our goal last year at Status Pro was to give people the experience of being NFL QB1, feeling the rush of stepping onto the field and leading your favorite NFL team to victory. And the positive response we got from our community was overwhelming, but that was just the beginning. Later this year, we're upping the game with the next evolution of NFL Pro Era. This year is all about showing the world what you've got. With the new version of NFL Pro Era, we're expanding multiplayer so you and your best friend can pit your favorite teams against each other and see who comes out on top. There's a world of competition out there, and we want to see how our community
That's
QB
cool.
skills stack up.
That's cool, actually.
We got a lot more to share, though, between now and launch. New features, new modes. This is more than a roster update. The next version of NFL Pro Era will build on last year's game in so many cool ways, and we cannot wait to get it in your hands. Check us out on social. We posted a lot of community and game updates there before we launch this fall. This is really cool, by the way.
Thanks, Hawk. All right, moving on from the field to the court. Back in
This fall,
December,
hey, he
Revolution
acknowledged the
Games
environment, the
creators
stage. Maybe it is
Blasphemy
real.
and
Maybe it
Demi
is.
revealed their latest project, Racket Club, an all-new sport designed exclusively for VR. Practice your swing solo, play
Racket
pickup matches
Club.
with people all around the world, or just hang out and socialize courtside
It's
with
the
your
Mob
friends
Club.
in this one-of-a-kind
The
sports
rackets back in the day.
complex.
Dude,
Here's
I
a new look
want
at
a
Racket
Mafia
Club.
game in VR. That's what I want.
Ooh. The next LA Noir game in VR. Get all that face tracking.
Right in your face. You look right into your eye. I'm looking at you eye to eye.
Doubt.
What?
We of course have only experienced ping pong in VR.
I was waiting
Speaking
for
for
it.
myself, but yeah, you and I had played ping pong VR, which makes me think this could be a huge amount of fun. I really liked that ping pong game.
It was good until I smashed my wall on my controller.
A hilarious day for me, but not for you.
No. Yeah, I kind of cried. That one hurt.
That was an expensive mistake.
Yeah, very much so.
I don't know how I feel about this caged in
Yeah, I saw
tennis.
that.
I guess
You
that
bounce off
prevents
the
you
wall.
from running around.
Yeah, you're literally not supposed to move, right? You just stand there in one spot. Wish list
Yeah.
now. No date.
Similar
At our
to the
debut
ping pong
gaming
again,
showcase,
because we're not
I
going to
previewed
drift
the
too far
launch
from the
trailer
table.
For Wraith: The Oblivion Afterlife from Fast Travel Games. It was the first VR game set in the world of darkness. And today, we're diving back into the world of supernatural horror with an all-new adventure RPG, Vampire: The Masquerade Justice, which will send you to Venice, but not the Venice you see on postcards. You are a vampire, comfortable in the city's darkest shadows. Hide in plain sight, drink the blood of mortals, and use your vampiric abilities.
I haven't played
to
any of the
become
Masquerade
ultimate
games.
Judge of the guilty.
Not for me.
Without further ado, let's sink
I
our
wanted to
teeth
do the
into
VR, or
debut
the
trailer
BR, that
for
is, but
Vampire:
it
The
didn't
Masquerade
last.
Justice.
Yeah, nope. That's well, it's out there, but I'm not sure for how much longer. They shut down support for the game, right? But now
It just, I don't think it was enough to grab me.
no.
I want a single player narrative experience. That's what I want.
Italy.
Interview with a Vampire.
On square one.
VR.
Hiding in the night.
Oh.
I didn't want to get dragged into this. But the guilty must be punished. You do well to remember that.
I find a lot of VR games just look blocky.
Because if you don't, I'll make
Whoa.
it
Yeah.
very uncomfortable for you.
Okay.
Next,
I think that's my entry
an
point right
adventure
there.
that never needs to end.
Dude, it looked cool.
This one is special. to me.
Vampire: The
Developed
Masquerade.
by Othergate, a studio
Justice.
co-founded by 4 VR veterans who I used to work with for years on the Oculus Studios team on our very first and super
I wonder if that's
popular
going to be
franchise,
hardware
Dead
locked,
and
though, to a
Buried.
newer Meta
I know
Quest.
firsthand that these guys are masters at making fun multiplayer games, and I am honored to announce their next project, Dungeons of Eternity. This 1 to 3 player dungeon crawler generates levels from hundreds of unique chambers, so no 2 trips are the same. You'll explore dark crypts, ruined castles, and deep caverns. Battle monstrous enemies with melee and magic, solve puzzles, avoid traps, gather loot, escape back to safety, level up,
1 to
and then
3
do it all over
friends
again in a
for this
brand new
one.
dungeon. Take a look.
1 to 3 players.
A huge amount of comments coming in Roblox VR, and I don't know if that's possible or likely or well, seemingly well requested.
I think it might be already there, isn't it?
I know Among Us VR was talked about.
Yeah, it's out already. I heard it's pretty good.
Oh, it is? I
Yeah.
hadn't actually heard about it or seen anything since. Any of those mind games, escape games, that kind of thing. If
Yeah.
you're through VR, sounds like so much fun.
Oh, absolutely.
There was a game that I had played, or I bought to play, but I didn't actually try it yet, and it was Sword and Sorcery, maybe.
Okay, we brought back Samba de Amigo, but we must have other beloved classics waiting in the wings, right? How about one of the best-selling games of the 90s? An iconic mystery, maybe? Something a little spooky? Yeah, I think we have one like that.
Vertigo Games. What are they
Got
cooking
my
up?
attention. Oh, VR water. Ooh.
That's just you're out. Yeah,
I'll gladly try it once more, but I will.
It did not sit well with you. That's fine.
Yeah. I think it might relate to just my general discomfort with water.
I'm here to help. There are many like like me here, trapped in this house.
This is a haunted mansion.
Each night,
That's probably a good call.
Stout, what do you want? Show yourself.
I don't see Will Smith, but
The seventh guest?
yeah. Seventh Guest VR. Oh, I am very intrigued by that.
The seventh guest.
Just the
is
idea
mostly
of
known
the
for
premise,
ushering
a
in
haunted mansion, you're in there,
CD-ROM
figure it
era
out.
Once upon a time. But it's a great puzzle adventure.
I played My Neighbor's
cool to
House
see
VR, I
Vertigo
believe is what
games
it's
and
called.
Vertigo
And that was
Studios Rotterdam
really interesting
staying
concept.
true to the original, but reimagining it for a new era.
And it did scare me once.
The team is using volumetric video to capture the live action performances of actors to help tell the game's story. They're also fully recreating the iconic mansion in 3D for the first time. Just don't be surprised if it starts changing shape around you. It is haunted after all. In addition to The Seventh Guest, Vertigo is working on Arizona
Ooh.
Sunshine 2.
Oh, that's
sequel
right.
to one of the most popular games from VR's early days.
This is
one
Nightfall.
people
Laugh out
have
loud.
been waiting to see for
What's
a
up, Kyle?
long time, including me. You might have seen the CG reveal recently, but today we have another short
You should
teaser
have
for
your
you.
glasses on, Drew. You.
Time to say
like
hello
yours.
to your
Yeah,
old pal
not so
Freddy.
much, dude.
And hello to a new friend as well.
You don't feel like doing the Clark Kent today?
Yeah, no. They're going back.
No. Does Kyle have VR? I can't recall if we've talked about him.
No, he
VR with
doesn't. He
Kyle.
came over in my house and played Quest, I think, for 3 hours and then got sick. I was like, yo, because I don't feel so well. I'm like, no, dude, you've been in it for 3 hours.
That's a long one, even for a veteran.
No, yeah.
I recommend about an hour a session.
Yeah.
In
Arizona Sunshine 1 was
you'll
one that
survive the
it did catch my
desolate
eye
wastes of Arizona
back in the day.
with your
A lot of
new
people
best
love
friend
it.
buddy, who you can trust
Kyle
to
says
have
he
your
wants
back,
one.
even when
That's that
enemies are
Walking
trying to
Dead
take the bite
experience.
out
That's
of
what I
it.
want.
Arizona
But I don't think The
Sunshine
Walking
2
Dead
launches
necessarily
later
brings
this
me
year.
what I'm looking for.
Be sure to check
Dude,
out the
Walking
game's
Dead was good.
extended CG reveal trailer
Chapter
if you
2.
haven't already.
Steve and I played it.
Okay.
Mm.
Last November, Netflix and Tender Claws revealed that the hit series Stranger Things is coming to VR. I hope you're
Tender
comfortable in
Claws.
the Upside Down, because you're going to be spending a lot of time there. In this chilling psychological horror
Oh,
experience,
that just gave me an idea.
you are
VR game, but you're upside down the whole
invading people's
time.
minds
Good luck
Yeah, no.
controlling that.
conjuring their
Oof,
worst
awful.
nightmares as you look to take revenge on Eleven and her friends. Stranger Things VR comes to MetaQuest store later this year. And here is a brand new trailer.
So many spooky horror things, man.
That's what I'm so
VR.
hoping for. The development of VR.
Come on.
It's just another beautiful medium to bring you there.
Yeah, huh?
It's what a haunted house strives to do at Canada's Wonderland.
The predator I was always born to be.
It's an interesting take on it.
Oh, such a good IP to use.
Oh, absolutely. So many people love Stranger Things.
I don't think I've seen the entirety of the show. I must have fell off sometime around. There were other superpowers happening. That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah. I've seen pretty well all of it.
I think there was some other kids that had names that were numbers, and
Yeah.
that's where I stopped.
It's through so Crystal watched it, and then I was playing, so I kind of
It's time to
like,
strap into
dude,
your
our TVs
Catch
are side
up
by
to that.
side, right? So I
mobility
see the whole
gear
thing.
and prepare to fight the unthinkable.
There's a
Attack
couple
on
things that are
Titan is
actually
a
really
best-selling
disturbing in
manga
that
series,
show. When the
acclaimed
kids
anime
seeing
adaptation.
things in the other
And
world.
now,
Oh,
thanks to the
Yeah.
team at Universe, an exhilarating VR game. Attack on Titan VR
Attack on
Unbreakable
Titan.
lets you join the Scout Regiment and go head-to-head with the Titans themselves. Swing through the air using your ODM gear and take down enemies
I have
of many
goosebumps with
times
the
your
potential
size
this could have.
as you try to protect the last vestiges of humankind.
I have Attack on
Some of you
Titan
may
2, I
already be
believe,
familiar
on
with this game
Xbox
because they
One.
teased
I
it late
love
last year,
that game. It's
but you
so
didn't get
good.
to see the game's dynamic.
So much
high-flying
better than the show
battles.
was, and
Today you will.
I'll fight that fight.
Hmm. Pre-rendered animation, not actual gameplay. Not surprised by seeing
Okay.
this.
No,
I'm like, this is not VR. Not a chance.
no. Look, conceptually though,
Yeah.
like this is gonna be hard to land, but if they can do it, well, if they can do it, and you can avoid being sick for,
Well,
for
yeah.
more than 10 minutes.
Oh.
Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to fight with that finesse. Kind of makes me think if figure skaters were sword fighters, that's what this would look like.
We'll see.
This winter.
Back in 2011.
So why was
Polish
that not
developer
actual
People
gameplay
Can
then?
Fly,
Like, why not show us that if it's coming out this
creators
winter?
behind Outriders and
Yeah.
Painkiller
Right?
introduced the world to skill shots.
I bet they'll be
Blast an
patching
enemy out of
the
the air. Skill
smoothness
shot. Kick
for
him into a
long after
cactus.
release.
Skill shot. Crush somebody under a hot dog cart. You get the idea. Now imagine how creative you could get with that system in VR. Forget imagining it. We've got it. Here's your first look at Bulletstorm in VR.
Wow, really? Bulletstorm in VR, dude.
When was the last Bulletstorm game? Is that back on 360?
Yeah?
That era, that's what I'm thinking of.
Has to be back
Haven't
then,
heard the
right?
name in
Did
so
they do a
long.
remake of it at all?
I don't think so. Yeah, this is a big cheesy chest-high wall cover kind of era this came out in.
Oh yeah.
Cheesy
No,
being
absolutely.
highlighted, and I think
Yeah.
that's solid. Everything was too serious back then. It was a thing of its time, really.
This kind of came out with like cover shooter time, right? Like Gears and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, good. There we go. Let's get some bigger monsters in here.
Yeah, but it doesn't look good though. Like this is my problem. Like it just doesn't look pretty. It's People Can Fly.
It kind of made me think of
PS2.
Time Crisis, like one of those rail shooter kind of things.
Yeah.
But
Skill shot, every
Time
story
Crisis
beat
is
fully
the
recreated
opal.
from the ground up for VR. And for the first time, you'll actually be able to handle an energy leash, deliver devastating blows, and mow down hordes of mutated enemies. So book your ticket to the planet Stygia for later this year. And thanks to
Coming
People
this
Can
year.
Fly and Incuvo for bringing such a fun project to life. Okay, before we start talking about our final game, I know you've been waiting for an update on Assassin's Creed in VR.
final.
And I have
dude.
good news. Assassin's Creed Nexus is
Yes.
coming to the MetaQuest store by the end of the year. Tune
This
in to
year?
Ubisoft Forward on June 12th for the full reveal of Assassin's
MetaQuest
Creed Nexus.
store as
All
well. Not sure.
I promised you a deep dive.
Please bring
Let's
the
get into
PSVR
it.
2. Just
In
saying.
2019, Asgard's Wrath took us on an epic journey across the fabled 9 realms of Norse mythology. That journey ended here, imprisoned in this very tavern by the trickster god Loki. But Destiny has more in store for you. From Sanzaru Games and Oculus Studios, this is the world premiere of Asgard's Wrath 2.
No, nice.
Is spreading.
World premiere.
Loki's evil invades all realms.
He must not be stopped.
Betrayal has made you stronger.
And there's the copyright strike for everybody.
Yep. Probably. We'll get nailed on it, I'm sure.
Whoa, whoa. Harp bow? Something I never imagined.
Exact your vengeance
and unleash your wrath.
Oh, there goes his head. Looks cool. It was stuck to it.
All this sword fighting and stuff is making me think of Prince of Persia or Shinobi.
Oh man.
One of either of those two in VR would be again a test of endurance, but
Asgard's Wrath 2 is an all-new standalone adventure in this epic series. Freed from prison by the Weavers of Fate, you'll set out on a new quest across time and space, from the Norse realms to the deserts of ancient Egypt. Here on the Great Sand Sea, you'll once again battle gods and creatures of myth to stop Loki from upending all of creation. When the original Asgard's Wrath released on PC VR, it wowed players with its jaw-dropping scale, brutal physics-based combat, and stunning graphics. Asgard's Wrath 2 will set a whole new standard for wireless VR. This is the deep and immersive action RPG that you've been waiting for. Packing enormous
action
free-roaming
RPG
environments, gorgeous visuals, and well over 60 hours of exploration and tense
60
combat
hours,
into
Scott.
MetaQuest 2 and MetaQuest 3.
holy.
Today, my friend Matt Kramer, head of design at Sanzaru Games, will take us on a tour of the team's groundbreaking title. Everything you're about to see was captured in-game.
So this is coming to Quest 2
The
and
mic's
3.
yours.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ruth.
I don't think it was specified prior. Any of these other things, I haven't noticed.
I haven't heard anything mentioned for MetaQuest 3 until now.
First game left off.
Yeah.
A mysterious tavern you can't escape from. You're suddenly thrust into battle with a giant.
I like that bird face, man. Birds creep me out.
Just when you think all is lost, you encounter the Weavers of Fate, a trio of beings that set you off upon your adventure to find and stop Loki.
I like how they're shown.
So just how much bigger is this game? Not only will you travel through new Asgardian locations, like Muspelheim, the Land of Fire, the Weavers of Fate will also bring you into new realms, like the vast desert expanse of ancient Egypt. These massive worlds, beyond the scope of any other game on the MetaQuest platform, come alive in Asgard's Wrath 2. Dotted with temples, caves and dungeons, characters to meet,
Travel well.
monsters to battle, quests and side quests, wildlife,
Interesting.
crafting resources, mini games, and more.
Dude, this is
This is a living world you can roam and explore.
No,
freely.
not tonight, Kyle.
The most
Just
expansive
practice.
of these worlds is the Great Sand Sea, full of hidden treasures and unique events. You could spend hours upon hours exploring this map.
What would it be,
and still
Scott, if they just
discover
brought
all
this
its
over
secrets.
to like the PlayStation or
You might
Xbox?
decide to prove your combat prowess.
I know it's built from the
Hunt
ground up for
rare,
VR, which is
high-level
great.
monsters
'Cause
that roam the sand.
honestly, at this point, like we kind of
Or
need something
gather plants
of this
or
scale to
in
be there,
animal
right?
parts to craft
And this is cool. This is
useful
definitely the
consumable
highlight of the
things,
show.
such as bait to attract wildlife.
But I can't
or
help but
lure that
wonder
provides a
if it was on
temporary
console.
benefit.
I want to see the PlayStation VR lineup in a similar fashion to this. I'm not sure what's coming down the pipe anymore.
Nobody
I've heard
does.
big
Remember that
numbers,
showcase
but-
we had?
Yeah, that would have been the opportunity.
Man, that would have been
Hey,
time. It said, here's 5
Gran
games right at
Turismo.
the end of it. End of the showcase. Here's 5 VR games. Some look cool, some look like who cares.
You're going to want some.
Hey, that Gran Turismo movie though.
Luckily, you'll have the power of a god at your fingertips. As with Asgard's Wrath, you'll be able to transform a few brave animals into unique warrior followers to help you solve puzzles
Whoa.
and eviscerate
Khajiit.
Cool.
New in this game, they'll serve as powerful mounts that can carry you swiftly across the massive realms of Asgard's Wrath 2. Of course, what's fast on foot or mount can look very different to a god.
Okay.
Like Asgard's Wrath, You'll also see the world from the God-scale perspective and use your cosmic powers to manipulate the mortal world around you. Reach inaccessible areas, solve puzzles, and more.
Oh, this game just got a whole lot more ambitious.
Egypt is full of would-be heroes who need your godly assistance to
That's
enter
cool
the
though.
realm
This
of
could be
legend.
depths of puzzle. This could be
Each
depths
hero
of
in
real
Asgard's
challenge.
Wrath 2 is completely unique. Different weapons, different skills and abilities, and different strengths. By possessing these mortals, you can help them fulfill their destinies and get closer to yours as well. The first of these heroes is Abraxas, a cynical tomb robber with a grudge against the gods. You and Abraxas make an unlikely pair,
Oh, that's cool.
but you'll have to work together to take down fearsome enemies like the bloodthirsty goddess Sekhmet.
That's cool because
Abraxas
with
seeks
VR you can do
vengeance
so
against
much
Sekhmet
hand
Yeah.
signs,
for the murder
motion,
of
spell
man.
casting.
Right.
Oh,
With his boomerang axe, whip sword, and bladed shield at your command, he'll stop at nothing to defeat her.
oh,
Combat was one of the aspects players loved most about Asgard's Wrath, us included. It was vicious and brutal. Whether swinging a sword,
yeah. I think there's some
throwing
good
an
gore
axe,
to it.
or even using
Yeah,
your
there was.
fists.
I think that was I
Combat
watched
made you feel
PewDiePie
powerful
take
and
everybody
skilled.
at the knee. That was his thing.
In the first game, the combat favored a defense-first approach, meaning you had to block and parry a series of enemy attacks before you had a chance to remove their runic shields. This loop had to be completed 3 or 4 times before you could start damaging an enemy. In Asgard's Wrath 2, our updated combat system is centered around player choice. Nothing is holding you back. You can chip away at enemy shields through a flurry of attacks or land skilled parries to trigger opportunity weapons.
I'm a
You
counter-attacker,
cut through your
as I
enemy's
learned in
defenses
Star
with
Wars.
ease.
Vader episode 2, I
Also
believe.
expanded the systems to include
Lightsaber
elemental
off.
types
That's my style
for
of
a
fighting.
greater degree of
Dude, that's
player
just been that way since
customization
Assassin's Creed. It
and
was like,
wider
okay, block,
variety amongst
and then
enemy
attack.
archetypes.
Like, you just stand up and block them. And then
This time,
strike.
we have a full
You played the
physics
Batman
system
games though. It's
implemented
very
for
similar,
weapons.
right?
Yeah,
With
the
swords,
Batman games
axes,
just had a different
bows,
flow in
staffs,
combat,
and
right?
more at
Like,
your
they're known
disposal.
for the combat for the
You can
Arkham
find a
series. It was
combat
so
style
good,
that's right for
fluid.
you.
It's true. I have a strange.
Combo
To change up your
I have the unpopular opinion. I didn't actually like it very much.
every movement
What?
and switch up their own attacks.
Oh.
Punching people for
They
14
also
hours to
have
put
new
them to
skills and
sleep.
abilities as you level up.
Yeah, that's
Just
it.
let in a room of 100 guys. No.
Unlock powerful abilities and
I respect
super
it, just
attacks
not
to
for me.
totally change the game. Nothing feels better than seeing your
Even
weapon
Assassin's
soar
Creed,
into
I
the
was
air
doing weapon
and
switches to
rain down
shorten the
a horde of
fights as I'm
enemies.
doing that.
You'll also discover relics you can slot into your weapons and armor that will provide you with powerful buffs, like adding fire damage to your weapon
slots.
or heal over
Yeah.
time,
In my future.
allowing
Yeah,
you to
RPG.
customize your weapon set against each enemy you face.
That's cool. Rooting the right to
But
the
you
ground.
won't be the only one leveling up. Your animal followers have their own skill trees and will grow in power the more you spend time with them.
That's
Even
cool.
with an upgraded companion and all these powers at your disposal,
What kind of animals can I get?
Will go easy on you.
Again, I want a
As
bird
you
in
level up, so
companion.
will they, gaining new abilities, smarter tactics, sneaky counters, stronger armor, powerful super attacks, and relics to use against you. Some will even heal each other, boost each other's damage, or call for reinforcements. You'll have to use all the strength, endurance,
Yeah,
speed,
actually, I want a
and quick
Cantus
thinking you can muster
from
to
Gears of
forge a
War as my
path
companion.
through the ravenous enemies
The music.
that lay between you and your
Part.
destiny.
What the? That was cool.
That was cool.
For a true challenge and the opportunity to earn bragging rights amongst your friends, you can step into the Uncharted Rifts, an infinitely replayable dungeon crawling mode with exclusive loot that you can take back with you into the main campaign. The rifts are always open, so you can visit at any point during or even after the campaign and put your skills against some of the toughest time-limited challenges the rifts have to offer. Face increasingly ferocious enemies as you delve deeper
That's cool.
into these
It is
endless
cool.
labyrinths.
Kind of Phantom Abyss
Encountering
feeling out of that
ghosts
one, actually.
players who
Yeah.
fell victim to the rifts before you. Whether friend or foe, these specters will be part
And the
of your
ghosts of the
journey,
yeah.
That's
or
cool.
hindering your progress. Survive long enough, and you'll earn a spot on the leaderboards and those precious bragging rights. The Uncharted Rifts are deep and full of mystery. They're almost like a whole game on their own, and we've barely scratched the surface of all the unique dangers you'll encounter. I hope that this first look at Asgard's Wrath 2 has you excited. We've got
pretty
so
impressive.
much more to show you. More heroes, more companions, more gods.
There we
lucky
go.
Anomalies.
The Griffin.
I can't wait to show
Yeah.
you more.
The bird companion I
Back
want.
to you, Ruth.
Not bad. Dude, that looks cool.
That did look really cool.
Okay, now head over to the MetaQuest store because pre-orders of Asgard's Wrath 2 are open. Pre-order and you'll get a copy of the original Asgard's Wrath on PC. You don't have to play it before, but it'll add some fun context. You'll also get immediate access to the great
That's
Sandsea
cool. I
Hall
like that.
environment I'm standing in now, and unlock an exclusive Asgard's Wrath 2 themed character,
Pre-order bonus.
as well as the title of Cosmic
It's
Guardian.
something I don't
of
understand
Population
anymore.
1. And once Asgard's Wrath 2 launches later
Just
this
an
year,
incentive to make sure you
those
buy
who
the game.
pre-ordered will get access to the
It's
Sword
usually
of Ra
digital though.
and
Like,
the Sun
what are they
God's
gonna run
Battle
out?
Armor.
Hmm.
That
That's
said,
the
I
end of our
pre-order the
main
games I really
showcase.
do like.
But stick around for more,
Titanfall 2 is the last
because
one I
up
remember.
next, we have some of the most passionate VR creators sitting down to discuss the games from the show. And while you're there, we're running a sale on favorites like NFL Pro Era, Resident Evil 4, Bone Lab, Among Us, and many more. And like last year,
Oh,
we're
Bone
also giving
Lab,
away
Bone
this
Works.
awesome room I'm standing in. It's
That had been
available now
completely
for
wiped
setting under
wiped from my
$10.
memory.
Of course, there's so much more we want to share with you. We plan to announce more games, major updates to existing titles, and we've got a whole new headset to launch. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thanks to the developers who helped put this show together. Keep playing, and we'll see you next year.
Was that the only mention of the headset? The whole
Dude,
thing.
that was it. Like, it's just.
There's a
here's
new one
this-
coming.
There's a little bit at the very beginning, while you're looking for the
Oh,
link.
okay.
But yeah, it
I'm
was.
gonna be in so much
Did it
trouble
hit you
this
with the
week.
heavy tech
Sadly,
numbers?
it's
Because
not
that's
like
kind of what.
The Ecto 1?
Nothing.
That's still parked at my place. No, they're not getting it back.
Yeah. I don't know. Not a bad showcase, Scott. Not a bad showcase. What do you think?
Hi, everyone.
I'm pretty satisfied with that one actually.
Yeah.
Without having the big brand of PlayStation or something like that to kind of expect certain titles from, this
Yeah.
one was a lot more exciting to me than PlayStation was.
Definitely intrigued now too for the Quest 3 to see how much they stepped up. Right? Are they going to be comparable now to where we get with PSVR 2? Is that's you kind of raise the bar for me, right? When I'm playing Horizon Call of the Mountain in that realm versus where we are now when you go back to Quest. Like Steve and I are often the ones that do our reviews for VR, and the biggest comparison is gameplay and graphics. Gameplay tends to hold up, right? Because the mechanics are the mechanics, and if you're able to port those over, then they should hopefully work well. Graphics is what doesn't hold up, as PSVR 2 is definitely a leap above the Meta Quest 2. Well, will that get caught up when it comes to Meta Quest 3? We'll find out.
Hmm.
But that's
I
gonna
think
wrap
with
up.
this new.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking with this new headset, if the tech capabilities are there to push forward,
Yeah.
we'll see a change maybe away from this kind of cartoony, stylized look of things. Although I am happy with the stylization.
I'm
It would be
happy
nice
with
to
it
just get
too.
a super HD. Well, then we're moving on into more realism, and we've seen some hints of that coming out of Unreal Engine 5 and the like.
Absolutely, dude. To look Aloy in the eye in Horizon Call of the Mountain
That's so cool.
was like a whole other experience, right? It was like, wow, like I'm actually looking at her like head level, eye to eye, and she looks just like she does in the game, which is incredible. And it's in VR, so there's this other
I guess
level of immersion.
you're a character. You're not yourself, right? So I was going to ask, is
No.
she tall? Is she short?
She was my height, so she's 6 foot, I guess, right? And
That's
then 3 feet of
kind
hair.
of a
So it's
kind of a tall lady.
exactly. But thank you everybody for hanging out with us. That was the MetaQuest Games Showcase. We'll be back tomorrow. And of course, don't forget, there'll be a whole lot more showcases that we'll be covering. Summer Game Fest is just about to kick off, and there's a lot to cover. So make sure you stick around. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see you inside the game.